What's going on, everybody? It is your boy here, Controversy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And today, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Underdogs. This is actually episode 6, season 2. And I'm here with Southern rapper Sonic Man. You know,
What's good?
I basically met this dude, I think, like about a year ago, like I think like last year during like the summer or fall, if
I
I'm
think so,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, like somewhere around that time. And during that time, he was working on his newest album, which can you like remind me what the name of that album was again, man?
It was Lost in the Dark.
Lost in the Dark. Yeah, man. And basically, I worked with him, me and Epic. Shout out to Epic, man. We worked on a song called No Way Home, I think it was.
Yeah, our
Yeah, No
first
Way
day
Home.
home. First day
First
home.
Day Home, damn, man. Yeah, it's been a while though, but yeah, I was on that album. I got the privilege to be on that album with this man, and that album just dropped also as of recently. So link in the description down below for you guys to check it out. And yeah, man, just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, what made you want to start making music, and the floor is yours, bro.
All right. Well, it's a lot of shit.
Yeah,
Like
I bet.
it's a really long story. So
Mm,
I grew up on music through my mom because she would like encourage me with music all the time. Like every time I would go out with her, every time I hang out with her, just do something
mm,
or like practices or whatnot.
hell yeah.
She'd always be playing songs. So I ended up growing up on like Tupac, Biggie,
There you go.
Foo
Yeah.
Fighters. I grew up on a lot of music. That's kind of what got me in my love of music. Is just the more I kept listening to different genres and everything, I was all like, I was like, this is cool. Like,
Yeah.
I love this art that they got going. And then in middle school, when I started like studying it more and practicing it more, I started officially writing in middle
Mm,
school. I didn't have beats or anything like that, so I
yeah.
just kind of just wrote what's on my mind and just put it in song form. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. I like this. No, get that shit out of here.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I
But
get you. Yeah.
like it was like I had like journals of that shit, dude. Like I
Oh,
had like
wow.
probably two, like nah, four journals. I had like four journals full of like lyrics and
Oh,
such.
yeah.
And actually, I'll get back to that in a second. But
Mm,
in high school, after I graduated, that's when I decided to actually start dropping stuff. And one of the things that I would like to drop was, I started off like joking, like I was just goofing around, not doing it seriously.
yeah.
And because I was working at Sonic at the time, and I
Sonic,
made it.
Sonic. Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
It's dope. It's dope. Love that.
that's actually kind of where it started.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was working at
Damn.
Sonic
Yeah.
as a I was working at Sonic as a fountain. Like I was making drinks and shit. And someone just came up to me and they're all like, because I would talk about music all the time. I was like, I love music, like it's awesome. And then someone was like, you should make an album called Lost in the Sauce. And I was all like,
Ooh.
and it just became like a running gag in the
Yeah.
store. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually fucking do it
No,
because
yeah.
that would be
Like,
pretty funny. And they didn't believe me. They didn't believe that I was actually gonna go through with it. And then
yeah.
when I did go through with it, they were like, "Oh my God, he actually
Dang,
went through with
serious.
it."
It's crazy.
So I posted it
Wow.
on SoundCloud at first, and then after I posted it on SoundCloud, I did another one. I did another joke album after that, but that's when shit really started getting bad.
Mm,
So after I posted that second joke album, I got so much hate from it. Like it was bad, dude. Like
yeah.
I had people hitting up my DMs, people texting me, and literally everywhere I fucking went, somebody would give me some criticism.
Yeah.
Like they were like, dude, this is fucking garbage. Even the
Yeah.
dude that was like making my beats and shit, even he told like he straight up was
Bro.
telling people too. Like he was like,
Man,
I don't think he's cut out.
fire that fucking producer, man. Fucking
Yeah, dude, he
shit.
was like, I don't think he's cut out for this. And I'm
Oh
all like,
yeah, definitely.
the fuck? I was like, he's not gonna tell me that? The
Oh
fuck?
yeah.
It was so bad, dude. I was getting hate emails, man. Like,
Damn,
what
it
the
emails.
fuck?
Fuck.
Fucking emails, dude. I
Wow,
was all
man.
like, man, I get texts and I get messages, but emails? Like, what the hell, man? And so then after that, I was a little like disheartened from it because I was
Mm,
all like, man, dude, like, am I really like cut out for this? Like, I was all like, I was doubting myself hard. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and do something a little more serious, see how it goes. And then I dropped Darkest Light. It was my second album I was working on.
Oh yeah.
And after I dropped that one, like it started, like the shit started getting there. Like they were all like, okay, like not bad. It's like you're getting there. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
going, it's going. And then I didn't drop another project after that for a while because I was going through a tough time with my father at the moment
Yeah.
because he was pretty abusive, and I
Yeah.
was
It's
already
terrible.
dealing with a bunch of family drama and shit and
Right.
other shit too. Like it was a lot, man. Like I was getting like I was mentally and like physically tired. Like it was bad,
Oh.
dude. And then after I broke up with my ex fiance, I dropped 5101, and that's when I really
Mm.
started finding my flow. Like that's when I
Yeah.
really started learning shit. Because after I dropped 5101, people are like, "Damn, like this fucking album is sad. Like it's
Yeah, and
depressing."
like that album has the I haven't listened to the album fully, but I did listen to a Sharpshooter, man. That song is hard, man. I like that song.
Yeah,
I'm a
dude, that
sharpshooter
was
and I know where to hit. It's like
Yeah,
it's
dude,
nice.
fucking that's
It's hard.
that was actually kind of what started me working on 5101 because
Mm.
I got a new mentor. His name was Oki. I miss
Yeah.
him a lot. He's not dead or anything. It's just I haven't
Oh,
heard from him in a
okay,
while.
bet. Yeah, good. You know, it's
Yeah, I was like,
definitely. Oh
I want to
shit.
disclose that he's not dead.
Okay,
He's
that's good. That's
alive.
good. Yeah.
But I haven't seen him in a while, but he was the one that kind of helped me like perfect kind of different things that I need perfecting. Like I got better at freestyling, I got better at
Mm.
writing, I got better at flowing. Like he basically taught me all of that. Like even nights too, like he would just come over to my house and we would just make music because we were like bored and we didn't want to do any like even if we weren't watching anything or doing anything, he was just like, "Hey, bro, let's make some music." And I was all like, "Yeah, fuck it, dude, why not?" And
Yeah.
I got this app called Launchpad, and I just started like practicing making beats on there. And funny enough, I made the sharpshooter beat off of Launchpad. And after I made
Yeah.
that beat, he was all like, he was like, yeah, he was like, dude, this song's kind of fucking
Yeah, it's
tight,
hard.
dude.
That song is hard, definitely.
And he was like, dude, we should totally record a song off of this. And I was all like, yeah, I mean, fuck it, why not, dude? I'm down.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what would the topic be? And at the time, I was really like, I was pissed at a lot of fucking people, like especially my
Mm.
exes or like girls I just had to like. Like it was just a bunch of bitches I had to deal with in the back then, and I
Oh
was all
yeah.
like, nah. I was like, you know what? That's the topic. That's what I'm gonna write about. And then
Damn.
that's when I made Sharpshooter, and he was all like, "Yeah, dude, like this shit goes hard, dude."
It
And
does,
then he
yeah.
made his verse. Then and even funny enough too, we even went into a church like late as fuck at night, and we filmed like a music video on my iPhone.
Wow.
It's not on YouTube or anything,
Oh
but
damn.
I still have it. I still have the video too. Like it was like really goofy. Like I was all like, it was just shot on iPhone. It was just one of those shot on iPhone fucking videos.
Yeah.
And whenever like I showed it off and shit, and I did end up deleting it because I was like, you know what, we probably could make a better video. And then when the whole thing between me and my ex fiance was going on,
Mm.
I really started like self-reflecting and started like really looking at the bigger picture and such. Because we're cool now. We're awesome. I love her. She's great. But I really like took into terms. I was like, damn, I'm really like I'm a piece of shit, dude.
Damn.
Like I was not a
Mm.
good person back then, man. Like it was bad, dude. And so
Yeah.
then 5101 kind of just like kind of told the story about everything. Like you have songs like Adventures of Bun Bun Ted Ted and Come Home or I Hate the Old Me. Like
Mm.
I even instructed the album. I'm like, if you don't think you'll get it, you don't think you'll understand, then like just don't even bother listening to it.
All
Like
right.
just
Yeah.
move on with your day. And the people that do listen to it, they're all like, damn, bro. Like, they're like, every time, like, my homie Sicko, too, even told me as well. He was all like, dude, every time I hear that album, all I hear is pain, dude. All I hear is someone that's like, someone that needs help and someone that's
Yeah.
crying for help and such. And I'm like, see, you get it, dude. You get it. You
That's good,
understand it.
man. That's how it should be. Yeah.
And after I worked on 5101, I took a break for a bit. because I took a break because I went to North Carolina, and after I went to North Carolina, I was all like, I was like, I'm gonna just change up my whole lifestyle and change up everything because like it's kind of what needed to happen. And so I changed my name. I changed how I was. I started focusing on like growing up and being more like an adult and shit. And then when I came back home, then I dropped the original version of First Day Home. I dropped the original version, and then I took a break for a bit. And after I took a break, that's when I started working on my next project, which was House of Shadows. And
Mm.
this is
That's the one
what
with Epic, isn't
really,
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. I'm telling you, like, I've heard a couple songs that you did with Epic, and I'm like, bro, you guys are a pretty solid duo, man. I'm not gonna lie, pretty
I
solid
get
duo.
that a lot too. Everyone is
Yeah.
saying that me and him were like a match made in heaven.
Oh yeah, that's great.
As After I started working on House of Shadows, that's when I started introducing about my dissociative identity disorder. I never
Mm.
introduced it and any of my other albums until I started working on the House of Shadows. Because at the time I was really uncomfortable with it. Like I didn't really like talking about it and like sharing with it because I felt like embarrassed. I was all like, oh, like
Yeah.
this is fucking embarrassing, bro.
Yeah.
And like, I can't like people looked at me like a freak and shit too. Like I was all like, oh
Oh.
yeah, I'm good. But then when I started
Yeah.
working on House of Shadows, that's when things changed because I was like, you know what? I came up with this whole thing where every album that I've been dropping every year has each one of my identities on it. So I started with
Yeah.
Sorry Son of Darkness. He's kind of like my confidence and like he's also sarcastic as shit.
Yeah.
But
Damn, that's cool.
he's kind of like the one where like he's a very good deceiver. Like he will tell you what you want to hear, but he's not going to tell you the full truth because he's
Mm.
just all like you can figure it out on your own. And that's where House of Shadows came in. Like I got that with a couple songs like No Way Home or Later Tonight even. Or even from the light from the House of Shadows too.
The light from the house of
Uh,
shadows. Yeah, that
I
song.
still bump
Oh man,
that.
I love that one too. Yeah.
I bumped that one in my car. And later
Oh
tonight, when it's
shit.
late as fuck at night,
Yeah.
I'm like speeding on my fucking car, and
Yo, that's a
I'm
vibe though.
like, let go of my chain.
No, that sounds like a vibe though, man. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I still love listening to that album. I
Oh
think that's
yeah.
probably one of my best projects until I
Mm.
dropped Lost in the Dark. Because after
Ooh
I
yeah.
finished House of Shadows, that's when I came up with the concept of Lost in the Dark, where I was like, okay, next one of the album, I did mention Deadbeat, my identity Deadbeat and Tony back then, but I never
Mm.
really like actually discussed them or actually showed them off.
Yeah.
So what I did with Lost in the Dark was that I brought Deadbeat back, and I also brought Lil Sonic back. But Lil Sonic is actually portrayed as my identity, Tony. He's
Mm.
like the perceptive, smart one. Like he's like my intelligence, while Deadbeat is just like my pure anger and rage and everything. And that's how I came up with like the little '80s horror theme
Oh yeah.
for this album.
Okay.
And I also introduced my new one. He came recently. It was like last month actually. I call him Sonic because I didn't have a name for him, so I just named him
Oh,
after my
that's
stage
oh, so
name.
that's like another identity, right? Sonic?
Yeah, I just didn't have a name
Damn.
for him at the
Wow,
time.
that's
So
amazing. That's
yeah, so I was
cool.
all like, yeah, I'm gonna call him Sonic because I didn't have a
Sonic.
name for him. So I was like, I'm gonna call him Sonic. I think it was perfect. Sonic is like he's like the warrior kind of like he has a good heart. He's pure and
Mm.
he fights for what he thinks is right. Like he's a warrior type shit. And so, what was his name? Tony is like a cop figure to me. Like I said, he's very perceptive. He's smart, and he can like read people really easily. Like he's good at what he does. And then there's Deadbeat, who I portrayed as the villain, like the killer in the movie. You know, because he's like the rage. He's like my rage, my anger. Like he's
Yeah.
fucking angry all the time. And so then that's how I came up with this album, Lost in the Dark, where I had the survivor, the cop, and the serial killer. And then after I dropped that, the idea that came to mind was like I'm gonna take my old songs and I'm gonna remaster them, but I'm gonna have like new
Mm.
features. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have like
definitely.
different styles and whatnot. I even put in for Lost in the Sauce. I even put in Oki, who was my mentor. I put his verse in there because it was unreleased. I had it ready to go, but I never dropped it. We never dropped it or anything because he told me like I mean when he finished it he was like yeah I fuck with this verse but like I never got the chance to drop it because I stopped using SoundCloud
Oh
and
yeah.
then I was like you know what I'm gonna put him on because like I feel like this verse needs to be heard because it was a fire verse. He killed that shit. And then
Mm.
when Ryder came in and changed up the beat, and then
Yeah,
when he sent
writers.
me, I was
Definitely.
like, holy shit, dude. Like, I was nervous because I was like, I don't know if Oki's verse is going to work because it was old, and I didn't know if he was going to be able to work with it.
Yeah.
But he made that shit solid, dude. Like, I was all like,
Yeah, man.
damn. I was like, damn, dude. Like, that sounded, I still bumped that one. And I also released a couple unreleased tracks too that I was gonna put on the second album originally. Like it was Acid Rain, Blue Dream, and
Mm.
Acid Rain, Blue Dream. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I'm gonna pull it up real quick because I always remember like two of them and then I
Yeah,
forget
right.
the third one.
Definitely.
It was Acid Rain, Blue Dream, and Ghosts. That's what it was.
Mm.
I worked on those three when I was working on Darkest Light.
Yeah.
Ghosts I only wrote the hook for, but I never like finished it. Like I never wrote the full song, and I just kind of because I didn't finish it because at the time I was all like, I don't think it really fits the album. Not really gonna use it. Blue Dream, same case. I was all like, yeah, I'm talking about getting high with the boys and shit. Like I don't think it
Yeah.
really fits the theme. And then what was Acid Rain. I wrote like a couple parts to it, but like it was like really choppy and it was just like I couldn't like figure out like a good like rhythm to it. So I
Mm.
ended up scrapping that one too. But then when I started working on Lost in the Dark, it took everything that I did back then and I changed it up, switched it up, and then I got what I did now. And currently everyone has told me so far the feedback I've gotten, they're all like, hey, like this is awesome. Like they were like this is what it should have been back then.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
they were like
definitely.
this is what it should have been. Like this is awesome. And then the next one I'm working on, I call it Society Hates Us. That's why I'm introducing my next one, Ghost, who represents my
Wow.
overall sadness, depression, everything. Like I'm not gonna say too much about that album because I'm
No,
still
yeah.
working on it. But like I'm gonna tell y'all it's gonna be a sad fucking album, dude. Like it's probably gonna be the saddest fucking album I made. Maybe
Yeah.
even more sad than fucking 5101, but we'll see. But yeah, dude, like it's been a lot. I still have other plans. Like I have Ghost next, and then I have one more after that, and then after that one, I'm gonna be doing a best of album. Well, I'm not gonna
Ooh.
spoil too
Okay.
much because like I just wanna see what y'all think.
Yo, man. Whew. Yo, that's a great story, man. I love the way you summed up your entire discography. I definitely have a lot of questions, man. A lot of questions. So, like, in terms of the alter egos you've developed, I mean, first off, before going into this interview, I had no idea that Sonic was an alter ego. So, like, in terms of all of these, alter egos that you've developed over the years, would you say that Sonic is like the more important one, the more triumphant one out of all of them?
I'd say I am. At
Okay.
first, like I used to be a mess with it because like I didn't really know how to control it. Like it was just kind of all over the place,
Hmm.
and like they were just kind of running free, doing their own thing. And then I kind of learned to take control and kind of learn how to focus and hone in and try to understand all of them because I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna get rid of them. I can't get rid of them. They're gonna
Yeah.
probably be with me my entire life. So I better like try to understand them. And so when I started understanding them, I did it like one by one. I'd say I saved Deadbeat for last because,
Yeah.
like
Right.
I said, dude, he's just
Yeah.
angry all the time.
No, I get it.
So I was all like, so I went by one, took it slow, and then once I understood everyone, that's kind of when I was like, okay, y'all, like I'm taking charge. Like this is my body.
Hmm. Yeah.
Whenever y'all come in, just remember it's my body. So whatever y'all do, it's gonna affect me. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. And we kind of learned to have an understanding and kind of learned how to like settle with each other and learn to live with each other. Sonic, I would say, like I said, he's fairly new. I discovered him last month. He came along when because like one of my friends, like we got into it, or I got into it with someone else because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he was awful, dude. Like he's a fucking
Oh,
Satan worshiper and such.
oh no,
And
man.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Stay away from
yeah,
those
dude,
people. No.
he was making my friend hell uncomfortable, and I was like I got like super defensive, and then that's when I started noticing he was coming around. Because what I like to do is whenever I go to sleep, I kind of picture myself with them. Like we have like this big room with like all of them in there. And then I saw him there. I saw Sonic there, and I was all like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Who the fuck are you, dude?"
Shit.
And then
Wow.
we kind of
That's
like
yeah. That's
talked.
cool. Yeah.
We kind of like talked, and I asked him. I was like, "What's your name?" And he was all like, "I don't know. I'm just here." And I was all like,
Mm.
hmm. And so I was thinking about a name, and I was like, well, I need to figure out what kind of person he is first. And so I talked to him for a bit, and then he told me he told me everything about him. I was like, you know what? You kind of remind me of Sonic. Like, you kind of remind me of like the character I was going for with Sonic and Lost in the Dark. So I was like, you know, what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna call you Sonic. And so I gave him his name, and then he's just been with me since. Like I said, we're all like a collective group. Like people tend to notice it, but some people mostly don't unless I mention it to them. Because sometimes like they're all like, "Oh, like kind of notice you switch up sometimes," and I'm all like,
Yeah.
"Do I?" I was like, "Is
Okay.
it
Wow.
that noticeable?" But oh, that was weird. But I was all like, "Yeah, is it really that noticeable, man?"
Hmm.
And so eventually, I kind of learned to just understand it, and I kind of learned to just accept it as a part of me. And I just kind of, and like I said, I love talking about it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I know some people don't believe it, some people do. And like, the people that do, like, understand, like, they see it, they read everything about it. That's kind of what I did before I got diagnosed. I read everything about it because I was like, do I actually fucking have this? So I did some digging, I did some research, and everything that it listed was literally everything that was happening to me. And I was all
Wow.
like, oh shit. So I was like, I should probably go get this diagnosed. And so
Yeah.
I saw my friend. She had a friend who was a doctor or a psychiatrist, and We talked for a bit, did some tests, did some questions, and then eventually concluded that I developed it from the trauma that I was getting from my dad and other past traumas.
Wow.
And I was all like, oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Damn.
was like, well,
That's
I'm glad
tough,
it's
man.
I was like, I'm glad I'm not tripping then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, it's really comes down to like all of us just being as one, and yeah, we're just here now, just doing our thing, and I'm letting them express themselves through every album that I work on, and I think they've been doing a
Mm.
pretty good job
That's
at
a
it.
great. Yeah. Yeah. That's honestly a great way to cope with that. So like. In terms of this disorder, because I've never interviewed anybody that's like had what you had, and I mean, I find it very interesting, man. Like, I, I'm interested in learning more about it. So, would you say that like whenever you're like by yourself or in a room by yourself, would you say that like this disorder just like happens all of a sudden where you find yourself like talking to these alter egos or like how does it work?
Yeah, sometimes it's not just even when I'm in a room by myself. Sometimes
Okay.
I people would catch me like talking to myself sometimes
Yeah.
because I do that a lot. Like I do
Yeah. I mean,
talk to them
everybody does
sometimes. Like
it.
when I'm
I
out.
do it as well, man.
Yeah, I do it at
Yeah.
work.
It's a
I do
normal
it
thing.
everywhere. But like
Yeah.
every time I talk to myself, I'm talking to them because they're talking to me. And like there would be times too where like sometimes I'd even come in my room and I would just sit down and I'd be like, "Hey, how's everyone doing? What's going on?" And I would have conversations with them, and sometimes they would even
Wow.
write down some stuff too. They even drew themselves not too long ago. I'm still waiting on Moon Boy to fucking draw himself. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just Moon Boy. Yeah,
That's cool.
he's happy as fuck. Like he's like the happiest fucking person you'll meet. He's very loud, but he's also very lazy too. I'm all like,
Yeah.
I'm all like, come on, man, like sketch yourself out. And he's like, I will. But just hold on. So I'm like,
Okay,
dude,
wow.
come on.
Oh man, that is so interesting, man. Wow. Yeah, but like that's kind of cool though, because I feel like the whole just the way you kind of reflect these different characters in your music. I think that's a great way to make music. But in terms of that, like I I'm assuming that you never like struggle with like writer's block or anything like that, do you?
Sometimes I do.
Oh,
Sometimes
sometimes.
I
Okay.
do. Because like there are times where like I'm writing and then I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know what to write. And then one of them
Mm.
would come out and they'd be like, okay, well here's my idea. And then we write it, we try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then like we kind of go back to it. Like we kind of like I kind of all just let them like especially when it's their album, like their project that they're working on. So like Sir Arsene did most of the writing for House of Shadows when I was working on that one. Like I did some of it, but he did most of it. And it was the same thing with Lost in the Dark. It was a little bit of half like it was a little bit of half. Like four fucking people working on that album.
Damn.
Like I
Wow.
had Deadbeat do his songs, I had Tony do his songs, I had Sonic do his songs, and then I kind of just mixed in myself into it. But mainly, most of the writing comes from them because whenever I'm feeling it in the moment too, like I'm going through something or I'm feeling a certain type of way or they're feeling something, then I'm on like write that shit down, and then they write it down. So like especially with Deadbeat and Runaway, like Runaway and his song Deadbeat, that one too, like, obviously he's angry. So whenever
Mm.
he was pissed or he was feeling something, he was all like, give me the fucking phone right now. And I'm all like, okay, dude, like, here, calm down.
Oh, wow.
And he would write everything and then he let me read it. And I'm like, that's dark as fuck, but cool.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Wow, man. And I guess just like to talk more about Lost in the Dark, because when it dropped and I got to see the album cover and the track list. The album cover, not only do I love the red colorations on it, it's a dope cover, man. But like you kind of have like three guys in the middle of the cover. Is that supposed to represent like three versions of yourself?
Yes, those are the identities
Wow.
I was talking about.
Oh
So the
wow.
one with the hood and the mask with the glove and the knife, that one's Deadbeat. The one on my let's see, this is my right. The one on my right, which was the cop, had the hat, the one that one with
Yeah.
the police badge and everything, that was
Uh-huh.
that was Tony, or in this case, Lil Sonic. And then the one in the
Mm.
middle was Sonic. That's how I came up with that.
Wow. And like I guess is there like a prevalent, I guess, ego or like personality or character that like takes over the entire album, or is it just kind of like a variation of those three characters?
It is a variation of the three. So
Mm.
like the first couple tracks, which was the Lost in the Sauce tracks, those were all Tony. And then we had a couple in there that was Sonic. Like after that, when I started working on the Darkest Light tracks, it was a mix of Deadbeat, Tony, and Sonic. And then when I did the unreleased ones like Acid Rain, Blue Dream, and Ghosts, I did purely Sonic on those. I did purely Sonic on those because I was all like, okay, these are his songs. I'm gonna let him roll with it.
Yeah.
And after that, like like I kind of let them structure it out, and I kind of help them with the structuring. But yeah, most of like all of those songs are like a different like mix of all three.
Wow. And how about the Sunshine song? Because obviously that one features Epic, which he has such a heavenly, like catchy hook, man. And but like in terms of your verse, cause I don't remember like too much about your part, but I I do remember it feeling like optimistic. So can you like touch more on how you felt when you made that song with Epic?
So when I first worked on Sunshine, like I was kind of just doing my thing, like it was just me working on Sunshine. But then the
Mm.
Lost in the Dark version, instead of using Tony, because I didn't feel like Tony would really fit the song, I instead had Sonic do it because, like I said, he's a pure heart. He's pure. He likes to be there. He likes to be around. And so I was all like, you know what? I'm gonna have Sonic work on this one And
Mm.
when I had him working on it, like it was all like, no, no, we're coming back, yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was good. I like it. So I had Sonic instead of having, me or Tony touchdown on it, I felt I should have Sonic touchdown on it. And so when I had Sonic touchdown on it, I think like he fucking killed it. Like he fit that shit
Yeah.
so perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that has to be like one of my favorite songs off the album, man. It's a
Man,
banger.
that one's been bumping a lot too.
I bet. Yeah. And I guess in terms of your characters, how do your like parents or like your family like, how do they react to all of this?
So I didn't really touch down on it with my dad because
Yeah.
he didn't really care, and I didn't feel the need to like tell him anything.
Hmm.
My mom at first didn't believe me. Like she thought it was just my bipolar depression, and I was like, "Ma, like it's fucking serious. Like this is
Yeah.
real. Like this is not bipolar depression. I've even looked into it and I've
Yeah.
even studied it. Like it is not bipolar depression. I promise you. I do have bipolar depression, but I'm telling you, it's not." And then when I got diagnosed, I told her about it, and she told me like she apologized. She told me she was sorry, and like I told her I was like, even if you still don't believe me, like they're there. I want you to know they're there, and they're going to be there. And
Wow.
she understands. Like she was cool with it. She was cool with it. I think she's starting to like kind of understand now. My
Wow.
brother, I think my brother, my second oldest brother, I feel like he was the one that understood the most because when I told him about it, he was like, yeah, bro, like I noticed it a lot in you. Like he was like, I'm someone
Wow.
that suffers from schizophrenia and like PTSD and such, and
Damn.
like he was like, yeah, like I saw it off of you a lot. And he was like, it was like my first sign that I started noticing was when you started talking to yourself like you were talking to other people that weren't even there. And I was all like, yeah. I was like, how many times have you noticed that? He was like, well, I noticed it a lot, like whenever we were at dinner, whenever, we were hanging out
Wow.
or
Yeah.
something. He was like, I would always hear you talking to someone, like other people, like they were there, but they weren't. And I was all like, oh, well, shit. So yeah, I really feel like at the end of, and my sister, I think she's like still like about it.
Mm.
But I feel like she'll come to understand eventually. Um, but yeah, I feel like out of like my whole family, I feel like my second oldest brother was the one that understood the most when I brought it up and
Yeah.
started talking
Definitely.
about
Yeah, man. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, I feel like if telling something like that to your family, I mean, that could be very shocking, and I mean, some might even think you're crazy, for it, but yeah, that's very interesting. Like just having all these different characters and personalities, and you know, alter egos. Like I think it's cool, man. Like I mean, I don't think you're crazy. Like I actually think it's a cool thing, because I think that at the end of the day, that's what makes music interesting. Like it's kind of like Eminem, Slim Shady, or Mac Miller's Delusional Thomas.
it.
Like
Yeah,
yeah, like that. Um,
yeah.
and I guess I wanted to ask you, aside from these personalities, what are your like top five or top 10, favorite rappers of all time?
So I've had a lot of inspiration going into my music. I'd say the
Mm,
big ones were probably Tupac for sure,
yeah.
Tupac and Biggie, those two for sure. The Foo Fighters actually.
Wow.
Like well, basically from the Foo Fighters, what I understood from them was like, they were a rock band, but
Yeah.
like they always would talk about, they would always just be themselves. They would just be themselves. They talked about certain things, and then when they started like understanding their discography, I was all like, damn, like they're fucking killer, dude. I would definitely add them to my list. 3 6 Mafia,
Oh,
that was one of my
yeah,
favorites. I
that's
think they're
great.
hella underrated too. Like
No,
I'm all
yeah,
like,
they
they
definitely
ain't
are,
give
man.
people need to give 3 6 some fucking love, dude. Because like,
No, yeah, they're
damn,
great.
they have
Yeah.
some really good tracks. 3 6, and then I would say Juice World. Uh,
Mm. Yeah, rest in
I
peace,
basically got
man.
my yeah, rest in peace, man. I fucking cried when I found out he died. I literally
Yeah,
listened to
man.
Juice WRLD for like a whole month straight after I found out he died. Because like Juice WRLD really taught me a lot. Like I felt comfortable listening to his
Oh
music,
yeah.
and it's like I felt like he was there with me. Like every time I listen to his songs, like I'm all like, damn, like I sympathize with this, and I felt like he was like me and him had a lot of similarities, and he actually inspired me to like start like he actually inspired me for 5101. Like I started when
Wow.
I started writing 5101, I thought about like everything Juice WRLD did in his album, like all like what the fuck was it? Goodbye and Good Riddance.
Yeah.
That was
Uh,
like that one is still one of my favorite albums of all time. So I had Juice WRLD. So I basically I think I would put it down to Tupac, Biggie, Juice WRLD, 3 6, and Bone Thugs and Harmony too. Like
damn.
I
Yeah, they're great, especially man. Yeah,
they don't give Bone Thugs enough love, dude.
they
I've been
don't
bumping
though.
the shit out of Bone Thugs lately.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think when it comes to like '90s hip hop groups, people are always mentioning like NWA, Wu Tang Clan, but yeah, I don't think they don't really ever talk about Bone Thugs though, but they're lyrically insane for
Yeah,
sure.
especially Lazy Bone. Like,
Yeah,
oh, dude, he's probably like one of my favorite ones out of Bone Thugs. Like, his flows are crazy, dude. Like, he goes
oh yeah,
crazy on them. Like,
yeah, man, they're really in an entire league of their own. But like I also want to like talk about in 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 terms of like music, like I guess I already talked about this, but like in in terms of music, who is it your like favorite artist or rapper that you've worked with like right now?
worked with right now, that's a hard one. I've
Yeah.
had some really good ones. I would pretty much say my group entirely, the Lone Star Lunatics. Like,
Mm.
I've had people like Sicko the Clown, Blunt Steve, Playboy Swaglow, Dents One, Epic Rider, Rain Clout, like you, like
Oh,
I
thank you,
like.
man. Damn. I'm kind of like a new
Like,
one though, like I'm kind of like a recent like a new guy that you've probably found out about.
yeah, but like I loved working with y'all. Like you guys were fun to work with,
Oh,
and
thank you, man. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like when I first dropped like the single for First Day Home, they uploaded the wrong version.
Yeah,
Hell, I
yeah.
don't even know why it fucking uploaded. I
Yeah.
literally scheduled it to upload, and then when you texted, I was all like, "What the fuck? Why is it out
Yeah.
already?" And then I
Yeah,
looked,
it's
and then
like
I listened to it, and I was like, what the fuck? This ain't even the right version. What the fuck is this? So I was like, no, I
yeah.
need to get that shit out the store.
No, thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Because whenever I work with an
Yeah.
artist, I always make sure that everyone is okay with, everything first before I draw. I always clear it with
Yeah.
the features and everything before I go through with it. Like I'm like, hey, here's what we made. How's it sound? And if they like it, they like it. And if they don't, we go back
Yeah.
into the works and change it up, see what we got to do. But I'd say probably my favorite artist I've worked with right now out of everyone. I'd say probably it's between Epic Rider and Sicko the Clown.
Yeah, I mean, Epic is
Like
insane.
I fucking love working with Epic Rider. Like
Bro, yeah.
he's
Insane.
phenomenal. He's got a great voice. He's good at storytelling. And Sicko the Clown, I love working with him a lot. Like every time we work together, like we don't focus on anything. We just work on our music. We help each other, and he kind of gives me life advice, helps me through. Like he really does a lot for me. Like Sicko, I look up to like an older brother. Like he's like literally one of like the best fucking people I've met.
Mm.
And then out of everyone in the group too, like I said, I just love working with my group. Like everyone in the Lone Star Lunatics is great. I love them. Especially like Blunt Steve, especially like he's helped. Like he doesn't just help me with music. This man literally helps me through life, dude. Like I
Wow.
would like be depressed and or like going through it or something. This man would literally sit me on the phone for like hours, and he would just give me life advice and just talk me through
Wow.
everything. Blunt Steve is dead ass one of the realest people I've known.
Oh man,
Um,
yeah.
and then we have Low, my homie Low. Like
Low.
he's literally the most humble fucking person I've ever met. Like he is so kind, and he literally loves to help everyone. Even when he's going through his own shit, he loves to help everyone. It's just
Mm.
like everyone in this group I really enjoyed working with. I can't really pick a favorite. I honestly can't really
Yeah,
pick a
right. Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
on
it's
that one.
tough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like just talking about Epic, I've known him for like I met him during the pandemic, kind of like late pandemic, like the fall. Like I remember I heard like one of his songs called Old School, and like just the way he was rapping, his multi-syllable rhyme schemes and his flow, his delivery, like I mean, it just honestly blew my mind how somebody that young could be like so talented, like right away, and like
That's how I felt too when I met him. I actually met Epic
yeah.
Writer through Discord.
Oh, through Discord, huh?
Um, Yeah, so
Yeah,
I got put into this group where it was a this Discord server where it was just a collection of artists.
yeah.
And then Epic Writer caught my attention because he posted one of his tracks and like the chat, like there was a whole like server chat
Mm,
that you could promote your music in. And he put one of his tracks in there, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check it out. Like I was checking out all the artists. Some of them were good, some of them was like, could use some work. But
mm.
then I saw his, and I listened to his, and I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Like
he's
I'm like,
insane, man.
dude, who is this guy, bro? I was like, dude, I gotta talk to this guy.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
so I talked to him on Discord. He gave me his Instagram, and we've been good friends since.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the pleasure. He's been on like two of my albums, Trials and Tribulations, Here Forever. I think. Oh yeah, he was also on my mixtape To the Stars. Like we have three collaborations in, and like I've been trying to get him on here again because I actually interviewed him like on the first season of the Underdogs, and I've been trying to get him on here again for another episode, but he's just too busy, man. It's a shame
But
though, but I've really been trying to get him back for another one. But I guess the other question that I had for you is like where do you see yourself, I guess, like moving forward? Obviously, now we're going into, 2024, and I guess moving forward, where do you see yourself as a person? Where do you see your music going to?
so I think the next phase that I'm going for, I think where I'm going to see myself going forward is that me, the Lone Star Lunatics, and Trap King Records, we're going to start expanding and we're
Mm,
going to start, getting more traction and stuff. We're just trying to find, like artists that are going to like, put in the work and be
yeah,
there and help us out as much as we can. And I meeting Trap King Record, like meeting Elk, like my homie King, like he was great. Like he was so kind to me when I first met him. My homie Sicko actually introduced me to him, and we were just nonstop talking. Like we like clicked. And then he was all like, excuse me. He was all like, "Hey, you wanna be?" He was like, "Hey, like I love like your style." Like he was like, "This ain't something I've ever seen before, and like you kill it." He was like, you wanna join up with Trap King? And I was like, hell
yeah,
yeah, I want to join up with you, bro. Like,
yeah,
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 I would love to. And I joined up with him. The Lone Star Lunatics joined up with him. Like, we're all just killing it, man. I think this year I'm gonna try and go for, like I said, I'm gonna finish Society Hates Us. Gonna work on that one really hard. And after I'm done with Society Hates Us, I'm gonna just keep promoting and just keep working on other things.
mm,
Because I know the next album after Society Hates Us, that one's gonna
yeah.
be a big one. That one's gonna be
Ooh,
a really big one, probably bigger than fucking Lost in the Dark.
wow. Do you know like when you're planning to drop it?
I don't have a set release date yet
Mm,
because I'm currently in the writing phase right now. I usually like to write things first, then I record it, then I
yeah,
send it to my features, get their features, and then we start producing it officially. I want to try and go for a summer release because I always drop
yeah.
like later in the year. But if I can't get a summer release, probably gonna be later in the year like usual.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I mean, let me know. Like I'm always down to collaborate with you again, man. Cause like for me in the past, like whenever I used to, whenever people used to ask me for features, I used to kind of like um deny them because I was like either too busy with my album or too busy with my own music. But like nowadays, like even if I guess I'm busy or if I can't or if I'm working on my own music for that matter, like I do try to collaborate with people because the thing with features is that as fans and as listeners that listen to our music, they love it when you drop an album or a single or an EP, but they also look for how well can you perform on somebody else's album or somebody else's song. So that's kind of like the reason why I want to like get more features in, just so I can be like J. Cole, who's been like back to back dropping quality features.
Yeah, J.
Yeah.
Cole be killing it with them features.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So let me know. I mean, like, I'm definitely down for Another collab for sure, man.
Hell yeah, man. I just gotta see because like I'm still like structuring the
I'll bet,
features
yeah.
right. It's mainly the features I've been structuring because it's like I keep changing it up too. Because I'm
Oh,
like, he was
really?
good on this track, and I'm like, well, maybe he'd be better for another track, and I'll have this dude do this track. And I'm all
Yeah.
like, and I gotta stop doing this.
No, yeah. I mean, do you know like how much songs you're gonna have on the album? Maybe.
Society Hates Us will have at least 16 tracks.
Mm.
Well, altogether it's 16 tracks, but excluding the outro will be about 15 tracks.
Mm. How about for like the album,
The album, like Society Hates Us, or
or like the or is that the album that you're talking about? Not the oh that
yeah,
one. Oh, 16. Oh, so it's
yeah,
gonna be like a shorter one than Lost in the Dark, right?
definitely was going to be shorter than Lost in the Dark. I feel like Lost in the Dark was big because I was remastering two whole albums and
Oh
I threw in
wow.
a couple singles and tracks that I didn't put in the second album originally. And I feel like that's probably why it was really big.
Damn. Yeah, the album was huge, man. Huge. Um, I guess another question I had for you is like, would you say that music has been a like the main factor that has like motivated you throughout all these years?
Yeah, music definitely has carried me through a lot. It's carried me a lot through my hard times and has carried me through such. Like I use music as a way to escape and use it as a way to like vent and like be myself
Mm,
and whatnot. Because
yeah.
I just have my mic, I can do whatever I want, and I'm like free will to do whatever I want to do. That's kind of where music is for me. Like I said, growing up with music, I've always loved it. Like it's always been something that I've always like enjoyed. Originally, I was thinking about becoming an actor at first, but then like I love acting. It's fun,
Yeah, acting is
but
cool.
like I just kept going back to music. I just would not stop going back to music. Like my friend was actually trying to work on a short film, and then I just kept bringing up music, and he was all like, "Bro, like if you're just gonna keep focused," and he's like, "Bro, you're worrying too much about the music, and you're not like focusing on like the movie and such." And I'm like, "Well, I love music, man.
No, yeah,
Like that's like I
I get
love
it.
it."
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I was all like, I don't think acting is really my thing. I feel like being an artist is more my thing because it's more something I enjoy. Like I love working with sound. I love working with video too, but like,
Hmm.
music has always been kind of like the top of my list.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Yeah, and I think with acting, obviously, music and movies are very synonymous with each other. Like for me, I always thought it was cool, like what would happen if we got like some of our songs featured on a movie soundtrack. I think that would be like amazing.
Sicko and I were actually talking about that. He was all like, "Bro, we need to get Dead or Alive for like a movie trailer or
Oh, that
something." I'm
song,
like,
yeah, that song
I'm
slaps.
like, you know how fucking crazy that would go? We got Dead or Alive on a fucking movie track. That'd be awesome, dude.
Mm. Oh yeah, and like I remember seeing the music video to that one. Did you record that like on a camera or was that the iPhone?
So it was shot by my good friend Static TV.
Mm.
He shot it on his camera. Like he took shots. Like I gave him the story idea. I told him what we wanted to do. I told him the theme we were going for. I told him I was like try to capture like an 80s horror kind of vibe, and I feel like he
Mm,
did a
wow.
really good job with that.
Yeah, it's a crazy video. And like, did you pay him for it or did he do it for free?
I paid him.
Oh
me
damn.
and me and my homie Low paid him.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Um, I guess the other question I wanted to ask you, like, so is that kind of what you're like, focused on right now, like just kind of music, or is it like maybe, or like, would you ever like want to pursue like I guess a college degree? Or
I was gonna go to college
mm,
originally. I got accepted into like a community college, but I ended up not going through with it because my dad ended up leaving my mom, and obviously, like he told me, this is the thing. He told me that if I went to college, he would get me a car, and I was like, okay, cool. And I got into college, and then he left my mom, and then it kind of just left me in the dirt, and I was
it's
all
like
like, well,
if it's like
shit, man.
yeah, he's like fuck you and your car, man. Not kidding.
Yeah, literally, dude. Like
Oh
I
really?
was all
Damn.
like, well, shit, bro. So after
No,
that,
I
I
get
was
what you
all
mean.
like, yeah, after that, I was just all like, eh. So college ain't really something that I'm looking to
That's
do. I
good,
feel
man.
like music is
Yeah.
more my thing.
No, I mean, yeah, and I respect that. I think that nowadays we live in a world where college is so like a lot of people like look at it as if if you don't go to it, you're gonna fail in life, or something bad's gonna happen, or you won't ever succeed. But the thing is, it's like college is just one avenue of success, but there's really just many other things you can do. I think that kind of society has forgotten that college is not the end all be all. Like for example, I think Mark Zuckerberg, he basically was a college dropout when he developed Facebook, and he didn't even finish college, and he still managed to like develop the app Facebook and grow it into a huge like industry. So
Yeah,
yeah, like so.
it's a lot to do, but I know we're gonna get there eventually.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's all about the grind. And have you had any live performances?
I've had a couple. It started
Mm,
off rough at first because I went through this thing called My Afton, and basically like they would give me gigs, but I had to sell like 20 tickets beforehand, like in order to get paid. It was some like
yeah,
sketchy
it's
business kind of.
oh yeah,
But the shows weren't good. The first two I did was at Retalk's Bar, and it wasn't that good.
oh
Like
really?
there wasn't an audience. Nobody really paid attention. Like it was just
Yeah,
like there were people were just kind of there. And then the second one is when I really was like, I'm not performing here ever again because the second one it was worse. Like there was no audience. Like I barely got paid, and then they even cut my set short too. Like I did like
yeah,
5 songs. Like first set I did 10 songs. They let me do my full 10 song set, but then the other set they cut it down to 5, and I was all like,
damn,
"Why, dude? Like
yeah,
why?" I was like, "Why the fuck are y'all cutting my set?"
right,
And then after the pay, I was just like, I got paid 40 fucking dollars for that show. And I was all like, no, I'm not doing that shit again. And so then I didn't perform for a while. And then eventually, I met an artist. He introduced me to this place called Variety Lux. And then I started doing gigs for them. And then once I was doing gigs for them, like it was like that's when I started building traction. That's when I met Sicko, Low, Dense. That's when I started meeting everyone.
mm,
And I really think Variety Lux is where I was hitting my peak with the live performances.
wow. And in terms of your first two performances, like how long did you perform for?
So the first run, I got to perform for at least an hour. Like I
Damn,
had a 10 song set, so I got to
yeah,
perform. I had like an hour of time to perform, but I think I performed about like 45 minutes through the whole set. And then the second set, it got cut down to like 20 minutes.
what?
It was 5 songs.
Man, no,
I
that's
was all like, yeah, exactly. I was all like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I was like, I literally had an hour to do my set. Why are you cutting it down to 20 minutes? Like,
yeah.
that wasn't cool. And like I said, after that, I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that shit no more.
Yeah, I get what you mean, man. I mean, for me, I haven't looked into, like performing at public venues. Yeah, I mean, I got to perform for my college, for my community college. It was like they had like this art exhibition where you basically got to submit your work. It was like an essay, or you could do like a poem, or like a presentation. Like I did a presentation on hip hop's impact on social justice, and I also got
Yeah.
to perform there as well. And it was just like one song, but like even then, like you know, what I loved about it is that the crowd was like all super excited, and it was great though. It was great. I actually performed Flex. I don't know if you've heard it.
What? Yes. Yeah, I
Oh,
remember
you've heard
Flex.
Flex. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, and like that was a good experience. But I mean, in terms of like a full set, I haven't been able to do that. I do want to do it though, for sure though. Maybe like this upcoming summer. But
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
I
but
think you should. I think that would be
really,
cool.
yeah. No, I mean I definitely want to do it though. Like I know that because I live in Oregon and like Portland, which is like a nearby city where I live at.
Yeah.
You know, like they're always hosting like public venues here and there. So like I mean I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like for sure though. But like one idea that I've been toying with, and like something that I think would be cool, like wouldn't it be amazing if like me, Epic, you, Ryan, and like a bunch of other, artists got together like to do like a large performance of like everybody, just like performing their own songs?
I've actually been talking to my homie King about that, the one that's
Mm,
running Trout King Records. And I actually gave him the idea, like he's looking for more artists that he wants to sign. Like I suggested Ryder and Rain to him at first just to see what he thinks, and then he was all like, "Yeah, if you have any other artists, let me know." So I'll definitely put in a word for you, and
oh
once
damn,
I get
yeah,
the word in for you, bro, he wants to like put together shows and whatnot.
yeah.
And I think like one of his big goals is that we'll like put together a big show where we can just all be free and do our own thing. And I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing, man. Like Jesus, it'd be like I mean, I like I wouldn't say it'd be like a world tour, but it'd be like something exciting for like I guess people to see. What like I guess the next generation of hip hop could bring to the table because like the current state of hip hop now, it's so commercialized. The fuck is this?
Oh my
What
God. I
was
was like,
that?
what the fuck
I don't know what
is
that
that?
is, man. But yeah, like the state of hip hop nowadays is so commercialized, so mainstream to the point where people nowadays don't care about the art anymore. It's not about the substance; it's more about how much numbers, how much streams can you get. So
Yeah.
like,
It's kind of
what
what
do you? Yeah,
mainstream was like. I was all like, like as soon as I found out what mainstream was really all about, I was all like, that's not what I want to do. Like I want to like actually, do something legit. Like I said, whenever I listened to Tupac or whatnot, I was all like, that motherfucker was legit, bro. Like I was like, he literally talked about real shit,
yeah.
and I was like, that's the kind of artist I want to be. And so that's kind of what I've been striving to be since.
And like, what do you say? That's kind of your bigger artist goal to to like resonate with people, like in hopes that your music resonates with a larger audience.
Not only to resonate, but I also my goal is to also like, comfort people and like, be there for them, be there for
Yeah,
my fans and like show them that they're not alone and that we're all like working together as one and kind of inspire them to like do like better things and get through what they're going through. Like
yeah.
I'm just kind of like the artist that's trying to like I'm trying to be the artist that's there for the people type shit.
Yeah, I mean that's really how it should be at the end of the day, man. Like and that's kind of like my same goal as well. Just trying to create music that resonates with people and that is able to get them through their hard times for sure, though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and like I guess cause I know one artist that's like I mean there's like many artists that are in tune with the people. Like Kendrick, J. Cole, Nas. But like, what do you think of NF? Because I feel like NF, like for me though, like I listen to him kind of like rarely. Like I feel like his music is not for me. Because I feel like you have to be in a certain mind state to resonate with NF. And he's somebody who I've seen his fan base is, like his fan base absolutely loves the guy. Like they really do feel what he's going through or what he has gone through. So, would you say that like you've been inspired by NF in some way?
Not really entirely because I mean really only song I really heard from NF was Lie. That was the one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Like I would listen to that one a lot, especially when I was like sad and shit. But
Mm,
like I kind of been exploring NF a little bit more because
yeah,
like you said, like everyone like talks about him, like they love him, like
they
they
do.
think
Yeah.
he's great. And I'm all like I feel like I'm gonna explore a little bit more for NF. But as of right now I haven't really heard much from NF.
Mm. Did you hear about the new album he dropped, Hope?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, you haven't, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like for me, it was you know, one thing I always respect about NF, because I feel like the bigger mainstream sector of rap, they kind of tend to, I guess not blackball him, but they don't really talk about him really, because he kind of is too how like he's he like talks about things that people don't want to talk about. For example, in that album, like he has this one song, uh, I forgot what it's called, but he essentially kind of exposes the industry, on how basically, rappers nowadays tend to, do features that they don't really love, but that will benefit their album or whatever, and that and how like rappers nowadays focus on what they have, they focus on their material wealth, and I guess are egotistical and don't really care about their fans, and how a lot of people, I guess, rappers or artists, tend to stress out over, award shows. And like in the music video, NF is just seen rocking a normal hoodie, no chains, no jewelry, and just is eating popcorn like he doesn't give a fuck. So, like, that's the thing about NF. He talks about things that people don't really want to talk about, and that's something I've always respected about him. Some people think he's corny, because of the way he sounds, or because he's like a fake Slim Shady or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
what did you like feel about like how did you feel about that? Did you ever feel like NF was like mimicking, I guess, Eminem in any type of way?
Not really. That thought never really came into mind. Because
Mm.
like I said, the only song I really listened to him by him was "Lie," and every time I would hear that song, like I was all like, "Damn!" Like I could, like I felt what he was going through too. Like I was all like, "Damn!" Like some of the shit he would say, like when he was like, "I took you out and I had no money." Like I was all like, "Damn!" Like
Yeah,
that song hit hard. I think he's got his good. I think he's got a good style right now. I think he's got a good
exactly.
thing going, and I think he should. I think he should just keep up with what he's doing because I think he's doing a good job of what he's doing.
Yeah, man, he's yeah, I mean, he's like absolutely amazing. But I guess in terms like another question I wanted to ask you, like you seem to come off as to me as somebody who I guess who's really good at kind of like staying positive and using his music as a way to I guess stay stay grounded, like to keep a firm foundation despite everything you've gone through. um would you say that, like, in terms of your music, would you want to like make vinyls of your albums and like ship them to your fans or something like that?
Oh hell yeah, dude! That's
Yeah,
one of
man.
my goals, man. Because what I want to do as soon as I have like the whole 5101 universe done, I want to just get them all in vinyl and just hang them up on my wall, like starting from Lost in the Sauce to like the best of album. I
Yeah.
mean, there's still gonna be more after the best of album, but like you said, I'm not gonna spoil too much on that.
And is the best of album, is I'm guessing that's the greatest hits compilation, right?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna
Oh
be
damn.
I'm gonna start it from House of no 5101. I'm gonna start it from 5101. And I'm gonna end it on the Happy album.
Oh yo, you also have a happy album coming as well, huh?
Yeah, but
Yo,
that's not gonna be for another. That's
yes.
not gonna be for another year.
Damn. And like, I mean, it might be too early now to talk to I guess touch on that, but like, do you feel like once you get to that album, do you feel like you'll be at a way better state mentally and emotionally?
I think so because I feel like what I needed to do first was get all the negative emotions out of the way. And I felt it would make sense that if I did this album, which is gonna be like a very sad album, I felt get that one out of the way first, and then once that one's done, then I feel like I would be in a better state to do the happy one.
Mm. Well, what do you think is gonna like? Who do you think is gonna be the prevalent standout character that you use for that one?
So the Happy album, I'm not gonna say too much about it.
But yeah.
But I did mention him before. His name's Moon Boy. He's like my overall
Oh right, yeah,
happiness.
of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's my overall happiness. But I'm not gonna touch too much on him because I don't want to spoil. But yeah, like it. I think that one it's gonna be a very positive album.
Mm. Wow, man. Yeah, and like just even talking about vinyls, actually, like I remember I was looking into that, for I guess like how much would it cost to press, you know, digital albums on vinyl, and I forgot how much it was, but like I think it's like somewhere around like what $30 per like pressing or whatever. But like I mean, like if you were to do that, for your fans, depending on how much listeners you have, I mean, it would be kind of expensive, man. Not gonna
Oh
lie,
yeah, dude, that would be
because
hella
it's like,
expensive.
because it's vinyl. But like I think like that's kind of the cool thing about it, like for the people and just for me and you to be able to see our work in like a physical format, to be able to touch the cover and like just open it, look at the inside, look at the way the vinyl looks. Like I think there's a beauty in that.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I love vinyls. I got a collection in my closet.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, oh, there's a bunch of shit covering it. But yeah, I got a
Mm.
couple. I'd say probably the biggest ones I have. I have pretty much all the Imagine Dragons and the Foo Fighters albums on vinyl.
Oh wow. Is there like any rap guys you have on there?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
I'm planning on getting. I want to get Tupac's greatest hits, like his
Mm.
greatest hits album. Still one of my favorite ones. But that shit's like $60.
60. Yeah, I mean it's the greatest hits compilation. Yeah. Yeah,
Like
for me,
I'm like, damn.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, like for me, I only have like 11 vinyls. I've kind of slowed down on collecting, but like I got into it like I think 2000, like the fall of 2021. Like I think like the first vinyl I ever got was Eminem's greatest hits, and I have Kanye's Graduation, Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City, Jay Z's The Black Album. I don't have a Tupac album yet. Um, but like I definitely do want to get some more. I think I have who else do we have? Oh yeah, I also have Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like I essentially like want to get like I want to take it to a point where like I have like shelves full of vinyls, because like I always thought it was cool to see how like people have like these insane collections, with like shelves, like just crates full of them. I always thought it was
Yeah, that's
cool.
kind of what I'm trying to go for too. Actually, now I think about it, I actually do have a couple rappers. I just remembered. I actually have A Love Letter to You 3 and
Trippy
Life's a
Red. Oh,
Trip by Trippie Redd.
oh damn. So like, would you say
Oh, and Legends Never Die by Juice WRLD.
Oh, that one's insane, man. I actually didn't listen to it fully yet, but I've heard a couple songs. I think I heard like Righteous, Wishing Well.
Oh, Righteous
Uh,
makes me cry all the
yeah,
time.
Righteous. It's a hard hitting song, man. So like you mentioned Juice WRLD and Trippie Red. Would you say that your favorite era of rap is like this new 2010s rap, or are you more of a 90s guy or a
I'm
2000s?
more of, I feel like I'm more of the 90s, 2000s. I like some of the songs and the style, like the artists that we have now, but I don't think it matches what we've had back then. Like,
Mm,
I don't think anything is going to match like Tupac, Biggie,
you're
Three
right.
Six,
Yeah.
Bone Thugs. Like, they all like they were killer. Even NWA, like
Yeah.
they were all like killer back in their day, man. I still think they are. Like, they're like amazing. Like, I just like Ice Cube too. Like, Ice Cube is really
Yeah,
good. I
man.
love Ice Cube. Like his album, The Predator, that was a really good
Yeah.
one. I still listen to It Was a Good Day. That's still one of my favorite
Yeah,
songs
right.
by him.
Yeah, yeah. That song's a vibe, man. Um, do you have like what's your favorite '90s album of all time?
That's a hard one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I probably would have to be All Eyes on Me by Tupac.
yeah. There we go, man. Yeah, like that song, that album. I've always said that there's not a single miss on that project.
Hell no. And
It really
same with
isn't.
Me Against the World. Like that was
Yeah.
also a
Oh
really good
man.
one.
Yeah. For me, like, I mean, I don't know what it would be. Like, I think there's a couple, but yeah, I mean, I probably would have to go with All Eyes on Me. That album is just a classic from front to back, and it's just like to me, it's like a West Coast masterpiece. Like everything from the G Funk production, Dr. Dre, Corrupt, Daz Dillinger, like just the whole Death Row camp. That like that album like was probably like like a time to be alive. It was just like something else, really.
Oh yeah, like that man. If I was back then at that time, dude, I think I would have probably, I probably would have been making music a long time ago.
No, right? Yeah, 9-6. But like, do you have any favorite rappers or favorite albums from like the 2000s?
2000s, Life's a Trip is definitely one of my favorite ones. Like
Mm,
I think like that one was probably the most vibey album I've ever listened to. Like I always enjoy every single song on that album. It has to be between Life's a Trip and Legends Never Die. Like those two are
mm,
really good. Same with Until Death Call My Name, Reloaded by NBA YoungBoy. Like that's a really good one. I'd say those three are
mm.
probably like my favorites right now.
Wow, man. It's like it's interesting with NBA YoungBoy because I feel like nowadays people like he's mostly known as an artist, to cause controversy and like to be like I don't know, like I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't like that guy. Like I don't know.
I mean, see, like I understand, but it's like at first, like, cause I'll be honest, like at first when I heard like when I was like hearing about Young Boy, I kept seeing all the Young Boy memes and all this shit. And
Right? Yeah.
I was all like, dude, like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like,
Mm.
why are people like talking about him so much?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought he
yeah.
was a little overrated, but then when I started actually listening to his music and then like paying attention to his lyrics and whatnot, I'm like, dude, like, I was like, dude, he's a fucking genius, dude. Like,
Mm.
he's amazing, especially with what was that song? Outside Today. Like that was a really good one. That's still one of my favorites. Or Genie too. Like Genie's also a really good one. Like Young Boy is killer with his tracks, dude. Like he like focuses on like real shit, and like once you really start paying attention to it, it's just all like, yeah, dude. Like I see why everyone's talking about him. Like he's
Yeah.
really fucking good at what he does.
Yeah, I mean like it's kind of interesting too because like I mean like as far as those memes, like those memes would always be like something along the lines of like, oh, NBA Youngboy's better than J. Cole or whatever. It was
Or
like
why be better?
yeah, like why be better? I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, like it
I
confused
didn't
me
get it.
too. Like I was all like, what the fuck does that mean?
Like why be better? Yeah, but I think nowadays like I think I mean I don't really pay attention to him too much. Like for me though, I mean I'm honestly like I do mess with like some new generation rappers. I mean, like Juice WRLD, I didn't really, I wasn't too familiar with him. I mean, like I discovered him when Lucid Dreams came out. The biggest hit song of that year. Um, but like I didn't really pay too much attention to him after he passed away. And it's like oh shit, like so yeah, Juice WRLD was talented. But like in terms of new generation rappers, there's only a very few that I like. Like there's like I mean there's Corday, Jack Harlow. Uh, Roddy Rich is okay. Lil Baby, like Offset. Like I don't know. Like for me, like Travis Scott's cool. Tyler the Creator's talented. But for me though, like I've always been kind of like a guy that's more leaning into like lyrical rappers. Like rappers that like have a message and a story. Like J Cole, Nas, Kendrick, Eminem, Biggie, Tupac. Ice Cube, Andre 3000. I don't know, like that's just me though, cause I mean, like I think for me at NBA YoungBoy, I mean, like I guess I understood where the hype was coming from, but like I couldn't take his music seriously. I don't know if it was because of his voice or just the way he sounds, like his pronunciation. I don't know. I just feel like he kind of came off to me as like one of these obnoxious gangsters or whatever, like because I think when it comes to Tupac, I mean, some people saw him as gangster or whatever, but at least he actually made you like believe that like he made you believe that he really went through this. But like
Yeah,
when it comes to young boy, like I never really took him seriously, man. Like to be honest with you, I never did.
yeah. And like I said, Young Boy's not really everyone's cup of tea.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But when I like, there's like a lot of good songs he's done. Like Drug Addiction, I think is probably one of my favorite ones.
Mm,
Same with Genie. I think like he's got a lot of good songs.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I heard that like he also has gone through, his own set of trauma as well. Like I think like I saw an interview where he basically was like scared and like paranoid and I think he said like he was afraid of people or whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, but all right, bro. Like I feel like I've asked you a lot of questions, and I always like to do this whenever I'm doing an interview with someone. Like I also like to, ask the guest, like if they have any questions for me. So what do you
When am
got?
I gonna be on your next project?
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Like I was actually thinking of getting you on like the newest album, Here Forever, but I I think like for that project, I mean, I was locked in for the entire summer, 20 songs, and like I was literally handling everything, from producing the beats to writing to even like trying to get some features. Um, I was really thinking like, what song could Sonic be on here, like which song could he fit on, but then like some other guys came up, like Epic, and then like Magician G is somebody who I've never collaborated with him, and I've heard good stuff about him. So I was like, who can, So I just got caught up with like all the features and stuff. But I mean, like, hopefully, uh, by the next one, like, cause in terms of like my fourth album, cause that was my third album. My fourth album, I don't know when that's gonna be exactly, because of college and like other life responsibilities. But like, what I want to do is like drop a collab album with this other guy that I met through my college. That's also like a rapper as well. And
Yeah.
like I want to see if I can get like you would be like a great fit for that. Is this gonna be like 10 songs? Nothing too crazy, but like you could be in it. I'm thinking of getting this guy like Icy Cash on here, and is this gonna be kind of like an album just full of bangers? Just something that we can just have fun. Like just and spaz out with.
Oh yeah, bro. And like I said, any feature that I'm on, I always try to give it my 100.
Oh hell yeah! And do you have another question?
That's pretty much it, because I gotta get going for a
Mm.
New Year's party.
Oh yeah, man. No, that sounds fun, man. Yeah, man. Like Happy New Year for sure, man. I think it's also cool that we're doing this like a day before 2024. It's a nice little treat, for the people.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm glad I picked the day.
no, yeah, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, bro, thanks so much for, stopping by, for giving us another episode of The Underdogs. And yeah, guys, don't forget to, check this man out. Check him out on Instagram, link in the description below, to his Spotify. And, just, like, go show him some love, go show him some love. Like, I've never met such a interesting artist that's had such a unique story to tell. And, like, that's kind of the great thing about this show, just to give others, like, the platform to shine, for them to just talk about their story and, like, what made them like want to make music essentially, man. Be creative people in the world. But yeah,
Oh
guys, hope
yeah.
yeah, hell yeah, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.
We'll see you next time.
Yes,
Tear
sir.
top shelf, try and top this. You can be what you want, but you not this. I already got the skill, I just need the accolades.